Welcome back. It's been months since I posted an update on this renovation of the Columbia 26 Mark II. I've done a lot of different small items, and so this is just a quick catch up. Wanted to let you know that I've sanded the mast and the boom, and if you come with me, this here is the boom that's been sanded, and it's been primed with chromate primer, zinc primer. It was difficult to find something called chromate. I think it's outlawed. I'm not endorsing this product, but this is what I bought, and it's to protect corrosion on the aluminum. So this took about 2 cans for this boom, and so I figure it's going to take 3 cans for the mast. I have some more touching up of the mast to do, but the mast is in beautiful condition in terms of preparation, if I have to say so myself. I've taken all of the tracks off the mast and the winches. So I just would say that I'm very pleased with how the mast has been prepped. As you might see, I have these white lines in here. I've taken all of the halyards out, and I'm going to have the running rigging redone. And but I put the lines in there so I could easily put the new halyards back in, and also the masthead light. So I'm going to rewire the mast. But this has turned out perfect, the boom, and so I'm going to do the mast hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and then put the mast back together before I forget how to do it. There's a lot more involved than I had ever planned to take on, with removing the spreaders and all of the standing rigging. And but I think I'm going to have a beautiful looking product when it's over. I'll probably spray the mast and the boom in this garage. I know it looks like a mess, and it is, but it's an organized mess. And but I don't want to spray it outside with a real spray gun, because I don't want to paint my neighbor's car accidentally. So I think this is an ideal place to finish the mast and put it back together. So as you might see, I have a good bit of teak that I've sanded and I've oiled, and so it's ready to go back on the boat. So I have the boards for the floor in the boat, and I also have the hatch covers for under the bunks. They've all been painted and ready to be reinstalled. So I have 3 bins here. This bin is for the starboard side of the boat, and it has the lifelines and everything that came off the starboard side of the boat, even the chain plates and the window frame. I haven't ordered the new window in there. And then this is everything that came out of the middle of the boat, and this bin here is everything that came out of the port side of the boat. So this is real organization. I hope you're pleased and impressed. This is the companionway hatch, and I sanded this like this trim here and oiled it, put about 4 or 5 coats of oil on it. And what I did here, though, is that I strengthened it by putting in these metal brackets, and I think that that will extend its life expectancy. because I just sort of felt like it was a little more fragile than I wanted it to be. And I did the same thing to the forward hatch. I strengthened it by putting these right angle brackets on the interior of the hatch. And let's see, this is where the hinges go, so the hatch opens up like that. And the top of the hatch I have not replaced yet, but I will replace that at the same time I have the new windows cut for the cabin. Okay, so these are lots of little pieces of mahogany. This is trim that goes around the forward hatch on the interior of the boat. And these are some new blocks of wood that holds through hull fittings in for like the Spinnaker 4 guy. This was one of them, and I'm going to do away with this and put 2 on there in the forward hatch that match. And this is also a bracket that's inside of the forward hatch that gives it more strength. I think the previous owner created this. So, and then right here, let's see, this is the little hatch on the step that's that leads down into the cabin. It was painted white before, and when I sanded it, I realized it had a beautiful piece of mahogany right on the end, so I cleaned it up and urethaned it. I haven't yet painted this though, but this will be white with non-skid put in the paint. And let's see, here we go. Here's one of the 2 hatches in the cockpit, and I regret that I didn't stain it before I started refinishing it, but there are about 5 coats of urethane on this, and I think it turned out satisfactory. And let's see, and then here are the spreaders, and this is the bow plate and either the stern or starboard corner of the boat that was heavily oxidized. So I'm pleased with how this has turned out. I will paint these corners of the boat at the same time I paint the mast and the spreaders and the boom. So let's see, this is the icebox hatch. I've taken the hinges off. I'm going to have to put the hinges back on. But this has about 4 coats of urethane. I need to put a new little hatch in there. And so, let's see. I stained the teak earlier that I showed you with this product, Star Bright Teak Sealer. Again, I don't endorse it, but it was recommended to me, and I thought it was easy to work with. And so with that being said, you saw those 3 bins in the garage. Right here are all of the standing rigging, all of the stays, and the track that goes on the mast, neatly put away and labeled so I know where they go back to. And the winches that were on the mast are safely put into this toolbox so I won't lose it. And so I'd like to think I have some organization, even though you might not think it. The weather in South Carolina in March and April and May are conducive for me to work without breaking too bad of a sweat. And so what I want to do is get sanding on the boat. And been working under the water line. I hope to finish that up in the next week or so. and have it ready for the primer coat, which I won't put on until the boat has actually been painted. So I'll wait to do that last. And so in the last week or two, what I did is started sanding the transom of the boat. It took me about 2 hours to sand the transom with a 5-inch orbital sander. And I ended up finding a grit that was 36 grit. I had done most of it with a 40 grit. And the 36 grit, I thought helped me, do a faster job. But I'm looking to try to find a bigger pad circumference. I believe I can get one online. It's 8 inches. That's an orbital sander, which would be, about 20% bigger. And if I can save 20% of my time on sanding, I think I would be more pleased with, the job and not investing so much time into it. So based on the fact that it took 2 hours to sand the transom, I estimate that it would take me somewhere between 12 and 13 hours to sand the port side and 12 to 13 hours to sand the starboard side. So if I can get a larger sander, I think if I can knock 25% of my time off, it might reduce it down to a single-digit hour investment. And my stamina is that I need to try to make it as fast as I can. And if the faster I can do it, I think the better I'll do the job. So, I've thrown a lot at you. You've looked in my garage and you see confusion. But again, I think I know what I'm doing here. And when I'm finished this boat project, I assure you I will get into the garage and get it cleaned. Next video, we will meet at the boat, let you see the transom and how that ended up finishing up. Keep in mind, the boat's been painted before, so what I'm doing is I'm actually taking all of the old paint off and I'm getting it back down to the original gel coat. So I think that's far more involved than just roughing up a boat that hasn't yet been painted. And so getting all of that paint off, I think, is a bigger investment. And that's why I estimate it could involve as much as 20 to 30 hours of my time trying to get the hull sanded. But one thing that makes it easy is if you have the right tools. And if I can do this, I would say most anyone can, but it's having the right tools. And with that, I've enjoyed talking with you. And if you enjoyed this and would like to see other videos, if you would, click the like button, subscribe button as well. And this is over. We're going for a sail.